Yes, it's been pleasing so far. We've obviously ramped up our workloads and a lot more football work, but I've been pleased with the attitude. Now they've obviously, hopefully, learning some things, but at this stage, now we've just about got everyone back on the track. Got 4 long-term injuries, with 2 or 3 players just out at the moment. Other than that, and so from every aspect, from football aspect and fitness aspect, been pretty pleasing.
Boys have spoken about, I suppose, a considerable change in the off-season or in the pre-season rather. Have you noticed they've, I suppose, adapted and reacted to that?
Yeah, they have. I must admit, I've been really pleased that they're a group that want to learn, that they want to improve. So everything we've put into place as far as requests, expectations, standards, and certainly the football work as well, they've really responded really well. So they're eager to learn, they're eager to get better.
Have you had a chance to, I suppose, go through the playing group and sort of sit down with each and every player and sort of, I suppose, just chat to, what their goals are for the season and what's required on your front? Yeah,
well, I did that the first week, so I met everyone one-on-one. Since then, we've had some informal chats with players as well to obviously update how they're going. The feedback I got from the players was really positive about what they want to achieve and where they want to go. They seem to be a really well-driven group. They do want to succeed. They do want to be coached hard, and they do want to improve. So, from a coaching point of view, it's really pleasing.
What's the one particular thing that you've noticed since you come here? Like, is everything as you expected the club to be at this stage of its development?
That's certainly a difficult one. I think just being a young group, I expected this, but there's a lot to learn football-wise. And there's a lot they need, and they've responded really well, but there's a fair bit to improve on their standards of training, the intensity that's required at AFL level, which a lot of young players don't know what they don't know. So the core of the group really is 22 or younger, so they don't know a lot in many ways. So that's one thing that we've had to talk about consistently, and I think pleasing from that is that the players want to drive that they want to actually train a bit harder, a bit more intensely. They want to get their standards right, so from that aspect it's been pleasing.
So the guys like Melcheski and Rainsy and that, with their experience, even Riscatelli, that'd be a huge bonus for you.
Oh, for sure, yeah, all those older players, because we're obviously the second youngest group in the competition, so when you've got so many younger players all around the same age that you can go one or two ways. They can, I suppose, be really slack and just be there for the ride, or they can really want to jump in and work hard. And certainly, I've noticed our group's the second way. They want to work hard. They want to jump in and do the work, but they just need some direction on the way.
How have you gone about approaching that? Because I imagine it'd be pretty prickly subject telling someone their standards aren't high enough and they're not working hard enough.
It's been mainly as a group, just expectations. I spoke about expectations as a whole group. There really hasn't been many that they've had to jump on, to be honest. It's more about education, more about giving the direction where they need to head, where they need to improve. Just no intensity of a drill. Sometimes you do a warm-up drill, players go through the motions because it's a warm-up drill. Well, we need that to be more intense. We need to train at a bit more speed, a bit more pace. And expectations and standards in the gym, their recovery, all those sorts of things. But the players are driving that at the moment, which is great.
Can you tell us a little bit about your impressions of football on the Gold Coast? You were here 20 years ago as a player. What have you noticed about the changes of footy up here?
Well, I think the Suns being here has really obviously engaged the community. And you can see there's a sense of ownership from people on the Gold Coast. Here at training today, there's 100, 200 people here, which I think is great. I didn't expect this many to be here. So I think there's everyone can see the Suns are here for the long term. They're engaged with the community, and we really enjoy that. So for football being accepted here, and I think the Suns are doing it the right way.
It's nice to have Tommy Nichols, I suppose, back on the track before the Christmas break, get a bit of work into his legs before he, I suppose, comes back and gets stuck in.
Yeah, for sure. There's 3 or 4 of guys like that we've taken the view that we want to get their fitness up before we introduce them to football work. We're probably in the past you maybe throw them back into footy. So Dixon's one of those. Nichols is another one. Sam Day is another one. So those guys are doing a fair bit of fitness work, which is good. But they've embraced that. As I said, we haven't got that many in rehab group at the moment. So from a start where we had quite a few operations over the summer, we're in not bad shape at the moment.
What do you make of Jaggers' injury? It's an interesting one. Obviously, I wouldn't imagine you'd rush that one back.
Not at all. No. We've got really strict guidelines from the surgeon about where he needs to be at certain stages and what he can do. There's going to be a bit of a plateau now for the next 4 or 5 weeks. He's accelerated pretty quickly now, but the surgeon said there's going to be a plateau, so just got to get the strength in the legs. But everything going well, and you know that Jaggers very particular professionalism-wise. They said 16 weeks post-op he'll be able to play footy, so that makes it early March to mid-March. So that's without a hiccup. So we'll go fingers, but we certainly won't rush it. I mean, we see him as a long-term player. If he has to miss half a season, which he won't, that's the case. We'll do the right thing by him. But over at this stage, it looks like he'll be on track for round 1.
Can you tell us about the program post-Christmas? What's the plan when we come back from the break?
They've got a fairly solid program over the break, which we're going to be fairly strong on, that they need to adhere to. So first day back there'll be some testing, but we're going to be straight back into footy straight away. So if they're not at a level to be able to cope with that, well, they won't be doing the football work. So they'll be doing more fitness work. So, but the program really for the first 3 weeks after the break, it'll be fairly solid football work. We've got the long weekend, Australia Day weekend, and then we've got a camp for 3 or 4 days here on the coast. And that gives us a bit of a cut-off point as well, just to fine-tune some things. And then we're solidly into footy again up until the NAB Cup.
Where's that camp, Rob?
Just here on the Gold Coast. What we're going to do is just three days here at 3 different sites on the Gold Coast. I mean, you've got great resources here on the coast. I mean, the heat's one thing. I don't know why you'd want to go overseas when you're just here. You've got you've got natural resources. You've got got the army base. So we'll do 1 day at the army base. We'll do 1 day at the surf club. 1 day we're going to Casuarina to the surf academy. So it'll be a mixture of work. It'll be a mixture of meetings, a mixture of game plan, a mixture of leadership, that sort of thing. So we'll spend 1 day in each location, then I go home and sleep at night.
Did you do the Canungra experience when you were up here before?
I did, and it scarred me for life, Terry.
I can see that.